Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Geeks Anonymous. We're playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, 5th edition D&D. Um, Today, the game is entitled Boreal. It's based on a fictional world that was actually inspired by my LARP group, Amptguard. And we're all playing our signature characters in that LARP in D&D right now. For those of you watching who are from my LARP, just note that this is loosely based off of it. So I likely won't be including your characters or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about being misrepresented. Um,
Misrepresent all the people.
all the people.
Fuck all
all
you
of them are
guys.
fucked up. You might...
We're going to depict every single one of you, whether you like it or not.
There might be some familiar names of organizations and such, but, any resemblance to actual figures is purely coincidental. Disclaimer. So we're going to go around the circle, and everyone's going to tell us a little bit about their characters. I would like to note that this is a high-powered game. It is Gestalt, meaning they're playing two classes at the same time, taking the best of both. Nothing stacks. This is an old Unearthed Arcana rule from back 3.5 edition that I'm taking over to 5th edition. I thought it would be a fun game. It is 5th level. Everyone's starting off at 5th level. And everyone starts off with one magical item. So we're going to go around the table. They're going to tell you their name, their class, a little bit about the character, and what magical item they have. So without further ado, we'll go around the table and begin with...
I'll go, if you want.
All right.
It would have been the first time it wasn't you.
Yeah, like that would have been the
I
first
think
time.
I've gotten too used to it.
You got used to it. All right, so
All right.
Rose, go ahead and tell us a little bit.
Hello, everyone. I am playing my signature character, Rose Hawthorne. She's going to be a ranger rogue, and her race is actually a homebrew of mine. It's called an Amaris. She is about 5'3", 115 pounds. So she's technically only 6 years old because this race, they're born as adults. She was actually saved by a tribe and they took her in. She was raised by the tribe leader for 4 years before they were killed by a bunch of demons that were looking for her, which she doesn't know why, and she didn't really know. She doesn't know that they were looking for her. So she ended up escaping pretty much, and she's become a bounty hunter. And she's going around, and this is pretty much for the last 2 years. She's made a living off of just bringing in people.
All right, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what an Amaris is?
So an Amaris, it's pretty much so how I describe it is normally in a set like a pond or like a swamp where water really doesn't move around too much, like a spring. Over the course of 500 years, when moonlight hits the water just right, these waters have to be magical of some sort. The moonlight gets trapped inside of the magic, and it kind of forms into a ball, like an energy, a ball of energy. Yeah, and over the course of 500 years, as the light just continues collecting and the magical powers just kind of sit there, it expands, and inside of it is like kind of like a fetus, pretty much, except it's a person, a humanoid made up completely out of light. And once the 500 years have come, then the ball of energy just explodes, and there lies a human.
All right, and what magical item did you begin with?
I'm beginning with the Cloak of Elven kind.
And what does that do?
So when I put the hood up, it gives me advantage on stealth checks, and everyone else disadvantage to spot me.
That's pretty OP.
I'm a stealthy stealther.
All right, do you
stealth
need
for
more time?
you.
You still selecting what your magic item is?
Yeah,
Remember, it's uncommon.
I know.
All right, Bjorn Tilbertson.
I am Bjorn Tilbertson.
Chieftain Bjorn Tilbertson.
Chieftain Bjorn Tilbertson. um, he is a 5th level fighter barbarian. Human, chaotic good. Um, so Bjorn's tale is a bit of a long one. Long story short, he lived on an island where they worship 4 different gods. Debatable on if they're good or evil. He sees the good in their teachings.
Hey, chaos is its own thing, you know?
Right.
So,
And he was taken from his island by slavers, and then was rescued by denizens of the Dale. He just decided to start living it up with the Dale, then try to make his way back home. Since he's come back, he joined the Shadowfangs, which are a battle company in the Dale, and lately they've slowly been starting to disband, but he's been taking up different prospects with his free time, and yeah, that's where he is today with the Dale.
all right, to touch up a little bit on the Shadowfangs before he continues, they are an elite band of mercenaries that serve the Dale. They have done such a bang up job that um, there hasn't really been much of an issue in the Dale because they've taken care of them, all of them. So a lot of them have either moved on to different jobs or have kind of retired from the adventuring business because they can afford it now. They're still renowned. A lot of the people who see someone who's in the Shadowfangs will definitely give tip their hats to them and whatnot. But for the most part, they haven't had to be called on in a long time. Go ahead.
Um, and my magic item is the Sentinel Shield. Um, I'm thinking that it's like the one thing that he was able to keep from his home. It's a Zangchi shield that's blue and has a large eye in the center that he has kept with him.
Okay. All right. So moving on to Mav.
Mav. Kel Mav. Don't call her Kel. She hates that because it doesn't make any sense at all. It means the. Kel Mav is a bard sorcerer who has come to the Dale. Cause trouble, maybe.
A bard sorcerer sounds about right.
She is a half elf. She's pretty much stopping it through Boreal Dale because she is a traveler. She looks for lost knowledge and artifacts and whatnot. And she's heading north to try to find a lost city that has... At this point, very few people have heard of it because it's just been that long. Still, holding out hope. Her artifact right now is the Lantern of Revealing. So if there's anything invisible within 30 feet while the lantern is lit, it shows it.
That's cool.
It is cool. It's also something Mahv would have. She's sort of a jack of all trades. Not really a typical bard in the sense of I'll perform for you for money, but she doesn't mind sharing stories and whatnot. And also she is kind of lost. Displaced, as it were.
Displaced. Care to touch up on that a little bit?
She's from the past, like literally 500 years in the past. She doesn't know how it happened, but probably wild magic and artifact. Other things have culminated, so suddenly she's 500 years in the future, not knowing what the hell's going on.
No, for
That
500 years, it probably hasn't progressed a whole hell of a lot.
no, no, nothing has changed. Well, few things have changed.
Sounds like Fey Wild to me.
Well, her sorceress heritage is wild magic, so
That'd do it.
a particularly bad wild magic surge. Maybe that's what she's banking on. She doesn't know for sure.
All right, so like I said, the past 10 years have been, well, not 10 years, the past like 5 years or so have been pretty tame in the Dale. There haven't really been many threats other than the occasional raider or maybe a knoll attack, caravan being attacked, or something like that. For the most part, it's been pretty quiet. People have been able to um, relax and keep things relatively civil in the town. Boreal Dale is currently run by Duke Demetrius Adamantis. He is known for his past efforts against the Fae in particular. There were quite a bit of onslaughts. There was someone who almost usurped the entire city, and he and a band of other adventurers were able to destroy them about 15, 20 years ago. Since then, he is taking control as the Duke of Boreal Dale, and people respect him, even though he's a little stern at times. Um, as far as actual recent occurrences, not much has really gone down. It's been pretty quiet, as I said. However, the townfolk have kind of been restless. There's been a lot of cases of insomnia, something keeping people
I think
awake.
it'll keep most of us up at night.
So yeah, something's happening in the town that's keeping people from getting a full night's rest, and it's kind of making people on edge because if you don't have a full night's rest, you start to get a little cranky. Yes,
Mind flares.
mind flares. That's great. Let's go with that. Let's not go with that. All right, so that's the introduction. We're going to break the episode as far as YouTube goes. The stream will continue on, but um, so that's the end of the introduction, and we'll see you when we get back.